All right. Good afternoon, Anne. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for asking. All right. So we were talking a little bit about some opportunities, and there was something very interesting on your resume that caught my attention. So I see that you are currently working as a building inspector. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the work you've been doing?
The work that I receive is from a third party inspection company, more for insurance liabilities through auto owners. So when a building owner gets insurance, they're going to have not only just um, insurance on the building itself, property insurance, but they're going to have the liability of it itself. So the inspections are very similar. I do the liability portions of it, so I receive those. I go out, I inspect the building, take pictures of all requirements, fire extinguishers, fire suppression systems, all of the inspection tags when there's last been serviced, as well as where they're going up into, like the ceiling, what they're made out of, plumbing, electrical, the electrical panels, HVAC units, and the structural aspects of the building. If there's any type of water infiltration, both coming from in between the roof beams, I've got to see beyond, from the stain where it's coming from, and see beyond the drywall per se. And I've been in construction for so long, I've developed the ability to do that. So, in my reports, I file and I submit my reports with those findings, along with the pictures that correspond to those findings, and I submit them for processing. Now, that goes to auto owners, whether it be Tallahassee, East Florida, or whoever the underwriting company is, and that's all she wrote. And then I move on.
All right, great. And where did your experience come from for construction? What have you done in the past that made you get into this field?
Well, I started in the construction industry for an electrical contractor back in New York when I was about 19 years old. Then I moved into, I got hired for a position with a structural engineer that did home inspections as well as create structural foundations for whether it be a manufactured home or a standard commercial building or residential home. So with that, I learned how to do radon testing, how to do CAD drawings for foundations for manufactured homes for states that require whether it be a strip concrete footing or a full slab. Um, with his home inspections, I learned how to do home inspections as well as commercial building inspections. Um, then I went into project management with a general contractor out in New Mexico because the structural engineer retired. It was time for him to retire, so he sold the company. It was part of a larger corporation, but a franchise of it. So I went to be as a project manager, and then when I moved, due to some family changes in needs, I moved to Texas. That's when I got into the whole procurement.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for explaining that. I was just taking some notes here. All right, I think that's all I have for this part of the interview, but don't go anywhere. We have a few more things to talk about.
Okay.